All right, today we're gonna take a look at the GORUCK Ballistic Trainer. Little review here. I've had these for right around a month. I wanted to wear them for just a little bit longer to give you guys a review, but I'm pretty set on what I think of this shoe. So, Ballistic Trainer, we're gonna walk through the runability, durability, and stability, again, of this shoe, kind of compare it to some of the other shoes that we took a look at, including the Nano X, Froning, the Metcon free shoe as well, and kind of how this one stacks up to the others. First category we're gonna take a look at is the runability. I'm gonna give this between a 7.5 and 8 out of 10 for being probably what I would consider a little bit more durable and stable shoe. This is actually really good for running, and a couple of reasons why is they did a really good job with the upper with kind of manipulating the fabrics, right? So the fabrics around the rope climb area on the inside of the shoe here, and on the outside over on the other side is made of a durable nylon ballistic Cordura material, and it's super durable, a little more tight, a little bit heavier. But then down at the forefoot, where I like the shoe to flex, they just kind of have a knit fabric that's way more loose, and so that adds to the flexibility of the shoe in terms of when and how I can bend it back at the toe. And again, this is always my measurement for kind of the flexibility of a shoe and how well you can run with it. And this still takes a little bit of effort to kind of bend this one here, but it still is very, very runnable. I was incredibly surprised, especially when I first put them on. I thought it was gonna be a little more uncomfortable to run in, but there's a good amount of cushion in the bottom as well that I like. And then again, the change in fabrics is great, and the flexibility is not bad on this shoe. Durability, I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. I wanted to go 10 out of 10 because these things are pretty impressive. Again, it's a little bit of a short-term review, so I still need to put them through the paces a little bit more. But like I said, for a couple weeks, I'd run a mile almost every morning in these. I've done probably between 50 to 60 rope climbs in them, really pushing hard on the shoe to try to let the rope rub on all the spots that is gonna grab it. And these things have held up incredibly well. No delamination of the sole, nothing like that. And no tears or anything noticeable on, again, where that fabric gets a little bit tougher kind of from the mid-toe back. The only thing that did happen once, which I'm not really calling a drawback because I think it's a real fluke thing. The way that I climbed the rope, I had one of the eyelets pop out right here. And not only the way that I climb the rope, but the rope that I have grips a little bit different than a manila rope. It's really, really tough on shoes. It's probably harder on shoes than a regular manila rope. And so that popped out, but I honestly don't think that's an issue at all. And it's also something that I could probably fix myself if I really wanted to. But it hasn't changed anything in terms of the functionality of the shoe. So super durable, really like the outsole material in terms of the rubber that they use. It's really grippy on the road, and your foot feels in place while you're running with it. Probably the most durable one that I've worn thus far in terms of, again, cutting, moving, running, being in here, knocking it on box jumps, rope climbs, all those things. It literally hasn't changed the look of the shoe at all from the day that I bought it. So a little bit of dirt on here, but in terms of wear and tear, these things look awesome still. Super, super durable shoe. Last but not least, we're gonna talk about the stability of the shoe. So how does it function in the gym, squatting, picking up sandbags, doing farmer's carries, yoke carries, all that stuff. The sole of the shoe is fairly stiff, like I mentioned before. That flexibility is not super great. It's fairly flexible, so which made it still pretty good for running. But in terms of the stability of the shoe, this thing is awesome to lift in for one major reason, and I'm so glad somebody put this in a shoe. It's specific to something that I like a lot, is the drop is further from the heel to toe than in most other CrossFit shoes or functional fitness shoes out there. You have an 8mm drop from the heel to the toe. What does that mean? 20mm drop is pretty standard in an Olympic weightlifting shoe, right? You have that slant forward that allows your fibia and tibia to track forward when you squat, when you drop down to pick up a barbell. It kind of eliminates your poor flexibility in your ankle, right? It makes up for that, a little bit more of a drop. So most shoes typically have a 4mm drop. This bumped it up to 8, which I can definitely feel when I squat. So wall balls, thrusters, Olympic weightlifting, moving a barbell, anything like that, I can feel myself more stable on the ground in this shoe than I can in most others because of that increased drop. So on the stability side of things, we are definitely gonna go with a 10 out of 10 on this shoe. It doesn't have a whole lot of flex. It moves well, super stable with anything that you're doing. Again, I'm sure that's probably part purpose built because it's a rucking shoe as well. Running around with loads on your back means the shoe needs to be a little more stable, and that definitely pays off when you bring it into the gym. Just a couple other things to comment on, weight and price comparison. So these come in at $125, which is kind of right in the range. I think the Nano X is around 130. Most other shoes in this category are gonna be north of 100 bucks. So you're looking at probably spending the same amount of money, but for the amount of tech, the value that you get in the shoe, it's really great. And then the look, super simple, which I like. It's really clean, not super flashy, blends in just kind of well on your foot. I like, obviously, the gum bottom, super popular, but then what they do with like the logo as well, they just have their little logo back here on the back side of the heel as well as on the toe. It's definitely there and you notice it, but it's not something that jumps out right at your face, right? And then again, the weight of the shoe, this one only weighs around 10 ounces for a size 9, and you compare that to the Nano X, it's about 14 ounces. In terms of a size 10, I believe, is right around 14. So fairly close in terms of weight, might be a little lighter here. So this shoe's really been awesome, especially on this little short review. Again, I haven't had it for that long, but really have enjoyed it. GORUCK is not necessarily known for their shoes. They do have the Mac V1 boot and some other things they've come out. They're known for their rucking gear. This is their first jump into a shoe for the CrossFit space or functional fitness space, and very impressed. They definitely did their homework and did a great job. You guys should definitely check them out. If you guys like this kind of content, go ahead and put a comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe. Any questions you have about the shoe, go ahead and throw it down there in the comments and put down there anything else you might want to see a review of.